Naruto. God rewards hard work. Chapter 31. Wait. She's the one I'm looking for. A cold voice sounded, giving people a feeling that he couldn't be refused. Shisui turned around and saw a bandaged man in front of him, with a huge object wrapped in bandages behind him. Shisui was delighted. The bandaged man in front of him was exactly his target, the demon Zabuza. What he was carrying behind him should be the beheading sword. Shisui's current appearance is the figure after the transformation technique, otherwise with Shisui's reputation, how could Zabuza not recognize him? Shisui's eyes slowly turned, and his ordinary eyes had formed the appearance of 3 Magatama. This was stolen by Naruto at Danzo's base. It was only 1 Magatama before, but now it has been upgraded to 3 Magatama. What a genius. The theft of Danzo's base even made Danzo suspect Orochimaru, but he was about to do something big recently, so it was just a Magatama that was lost. However, Danzo still executed the root ninja who was guarding that day. When Shisui showed the 3 Magatama, Zabuza was shocked instantly, because the Uchiha clan was still very famous now, and a 3 Magatama was at least at the level of a Jonin. In the ninja world, the most difficult people were the Uchiha clan. When facing the Sharingan, the best thing was not to look into the other party's eyes, and he had just seen. Who are you? Zabuza, who is known as the Demon Man, wants to fight even if he faces a Sharingan ninja. He slowly drew out his beheading sword, and secretly he had formed a seal of the mist hidden technique. The diffuse mist began to cover the surroundings, and it was pitch dark. This not only avoids looking at the Sharingan, but also allows him to stand at home. It is indeed a good strategy. However, it depends on who it is. Ninjutsu radar detection. Shisui quietly made a seal. As a ninjutsu developed by Naruto, how could it have so many complicated seals? However, the ninjutsu he developed had a bit high requirements for the user. But for Shisui, who was a cage-level strongman, this was not a problem at all. Zabuza's position appeared clearly in Shisui's mind. Dozens of phantoms of Shisui appeared in an instant, and went straight to Zabuza. Feeling Shisui running towards him, Zabuza's face changed. How is it possible? He is not a Byakuyan, how could he find me in this thick fog? Without giving it much thought, Zabuza drew his sword and blocked it. His rich experience saved him from being pierced through the chest and killed. A spark lit up on the beheading sword, which turned out to be Shisui's short blade. Shisui swung his sword again and slashed at Zabuza, but the touch was wrong. Shisui hurriedly swung it behind him. The beheading sword and Shisui's short blade collided tightly with each other, and a bang-bang sounded. Zabuza, who was slashed just now, was just a water clone. Shisui smiled, and was obviously very satisfied with Zabuza. A ninja like Zabuza is an absolute pillar in any ninja village. Although Shisui can't open the Mangekyo now, his own chakra and fighting skills are still there, and even his physical skills have become stronger after being taught by Naruto. Fire style. Great Dragon Fire Technique. Wind style. Wind Tornado. Combination ninjutsu. Wind and Fire Tornado. Shisui used 2 ninjutsu in an instant to form a powerful combination ninjutsu. The fog created by Zabuza was instantly burned away, and the powerful wind tornado enveloped everything around. Shisui came to the little girl and protected her. But suddenly he felt a chill coming, and the little girl was already wrapped in thick ice. Bloodline limit. As soon as this thought came up, Shisui couldn't help but feel happy. Bloodline limit. If you train well, you will at least be an elite Jonin. Even the potential of the ice release bloodline limit is more than that. Zabuza was knocked away by Shisui's combination ninjutsu at this time, and fell heavily to the ground. His body was charred black, and it was obvious that he had been seriously injured and fell into a coma. According to what Zabuza said later, he just wanted to find a potential subordinate, but he didn't expect that he would end up getting himself involved. From the memoirs of Zabuza. Konoha Village. Naruto knew very well that the Uchiha clan would be exterminated in the next few days. He felt that he could do something. At least the Sharingan should not be wasted in the hands of Danzo and Obito. Danzo even used the Sharingan as a cheap resurrection coin. In the past few days, Naruto continued to attend classes as usual, without any abnormality. Today, Naruto suddenly heard a notice that the school would add a practical class today. Naruto instinctively caught something wrong, and turned around to see the pineapple-headed classmate who also looked unusual. It seems that he knew something from the family, but he didn't know much. Naruto took advantage of no one's attention and quietly replaced himself with a shadow clone. Naruto's body quietly rushed to the Uchiha clan's residence. The Uchiha clan was outside the Konoha village and was definitely in a remote corner. No wonder the Uchiha was dissatisfied with the village. The headquarters of wealthy families like the Hyuga clan and the three tribes of Ino, Deer and Cho are all in the more prosperous places in Konoha. Naruto kept using Earth Escape to shuttle back and forth. No one's Earth Escape could reach Naruto's depth. After Naruto's magic modification, the practicality of Earth Escape has greatly increased, but it is not affordable for ordinary people. At least chakra is a big problem. Who is sick enough to detect hundreds of meters underground? Naruto also used Kagura's mind eye to explore the underground. The difficulty of exploration and chakra doubled, but what Naruto lacked the least was chakra. Feeling that he had arrived at the underground where the Uchiha family was located, Naruto began to go to the ground. Around the Uchiha, there was a huge barrier wrapped around it, even going dozens of meters deep into the ground, but who would have thought that Naruto's Earth Escape was too abnormal? Naruto carefully hid around. This time, Naruto did not notify Shisui, because Naruto was worried that Shisui's chakra would be exposed in this operation, which would be very passive in the future. So Naruto chose to act alone. Feeling the fluctuations of life, Naruto began to rush to several places with smaller fluctuations of life. Naruto planned to rescue several younger people from the Uchiha family, because most of the thoughts of adults have been fixed, and most of the adult ninjas in the Uchiha family have red eye disease, and most of those with red eye disease have mental illness. And with the arrogant character of the Uchiha, it is difficult for them to obey their management. Not all of them are Shisui and Itachi's. Except for a few people, Naruto really looks down on the other Uchiha people. In Naruto's class, only Sasuke studied in the ninja school, and the others basically received teachings from specialists in the clan. But there were not many outstanding ones. He couldn't stop the Uchiha from doing this time, so he could only help Shisui retain the blood of several clan members and prevent the Uchiha bloodline from disappearing in the ninja world. Naruto soon came to the training area and found the training ground where the Uchiha little beans were being trained. There were more than a dozen little beans, and the ninjas being trained were also senior ninjas. They were obviously the little beans with better talents in the family. Naruto hid underground and pulled the Uchiha Jonin into the soil, leaving only his head. He knocked him unconscious directly, which was easier than Naruto imagined. This might be because he didn't expect someone to be able to do this in Uchiha. Killing in the family. In another place, Naruto already felt the murderous intent rising to the sky. He even smelled the scent of blood. Earth Escape. Nuclear submarine. A submarine-shaped submarine made of earth swallowed up a few little kids. Naruto thought for a moment and swallowed up the Jonin in front of him. However, Naruto opened his eyelids and controlled him with soul stealing. Only then did he swallow him with confidence and then sent the nuclear submarine underground. After Naruto sent several Uchiha children to the underground, he could not help but feel excited. These children would be the talents of the umbrella in the future. He must abduct more talents to return. Ahem, I am saving them, how can it be called abduction? Naruto thought shamelessly. Soon, Naruto heard a lot of wailing. It seems that not only Uchiha Itachi took action, but also the root. It is even possible that even the Anbu was involved. Otherwise, how could such a large Uchiha be slaughtered by Itachi alone? The round-robin battle alone can consume the chakra of Itachi, and some elite Jonin in the family are not so easy to kill. Naruto looked at the training ground in front of him. Not far from the training ground is the living area of the Uchiha family. In this area, Naruto felt a lot of life breath, some young, some strong, and some old breath. It should be the Uchiha children and family members. There are many ordinary Uchiha clansmen who are not ninjas here. If it were in Naruto's previous world, how could even these people be killed? Itachi has been brainwashed by the Konoha high-level officials. Who else would do such a thing? The guidance of the third Hokage and the lack of understanding of his clan members gradually made Itachi think that it was all the fault of the ignorant clan members. In order to prevent Konoha from falling into war, Itachi chose to bear the sin alone. What else can Naruto say about this? This world is sick. Naruto does not like Itachi's behavior, even though Itachi really has great talents. He arranged Sasuke's life without authorization, but he didn't know that Sasuke didn't want to follow the path he had arranged. As for Itachi, Naruto decided to let Sasuke decide in the future. Naruto tried his best to hide the chakra fluctuations on his body, and then his figure disappeared again, and the whole person hid in the ground. Inside the Uchiha clan's residence, there was a scene like purgatory. The elderly, children, and even women were brutally killed by masked ninjas. Itachi looked at these people in front of him, a trace of pity flashed in his eyes, and then the figure of Sasuke emerged in his mind. He originally had some compassion, but it was instantly suppressed by Itachi. He knew that he could not stop the demise of the Uchiha clan, and all he could do now was to save Sasuke's life. After several years, the name of the Uchiha clan would resound throughout this land. For this, he was willing to take on everything. A vortex appeared in the air, and a man wearing a spiral mask appeared in front of Itachi. A trace of fear flashed in Itachi's eyes. The space-time ninjutsu of the masked man in front of him was very difficult to deal with. Dear Mr. Itachi, what's wrong? Can't bear to do it. The masked man laughed sarcastically. Itachi swung the blade in his hand again, and blood sprayed on Itachi's face, but Itachi's expression did not change at all, as if he was a killing god of death. Seeing Itachi's decisive move, the masked man laughed again. This young man was so cruel that he couldn't help but be surprised. Then he kept moving forward, killing and cursing. The strong anger of the Uchiha people even made the Sharingan evolve one by one. One Magatama became double Magatama, and double Magatama became three Magatama, but it was obvious that the Mangekyo was not so easy to open. In the original work, the second pillar saw the whole clan being slaughtered, and he only opened one Magatama. It was still quite useless to say, but a person's talent is not entirely linked to opening the eyes. Uchiha Itachi. You don't deserve the name of Uchiha. Ah. With Itachi's continuous slaughter, some ninjas of the Uchiha family finally reacted, but they were no match for Itachi. Itachi opened the Mangekyo, and his chakra surged again. With the help of the Mangekyo Eye technique, Itachi's strength has firmly stepped into the level of Kage. Not only that. Facing the ninjas of the Uchiha family, almost all of the roots were dispatched this time, and the Anbu were also involved. The ninjas of the Uchiha family were caught off guard, and when they were ready to face the enemy, they were facing enemies that were several times their number. With the cooperation, even the Uchiha ninjas would suffer a bitter defeat. Itachi kept killing all the way, and then gradually came to the residential area, where some root ninjas had already begun thinking of killing. Itachi couldn't help but think of a girl, and then Sasuke's figure gradually covered the girl. Nothing was more important than Sasuke. The blade in Itachi's hand swung down again. Itachi turned and left. A tear slowly left the corner of his eye, and then walked towards the clan leader's residence. He knew that this was what he had to face. Walking through the corridor, slowly into the yard, and then slowly into the room, two figures appeared in front of her. Their faces looked very calm. They were Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Makoto. The two just looked at Itachi quietly, as if they had no idea what Itachi had done. Uchiha Fugaku slowly picked up the teacup on the table, and his shaking hands clearly showed that he was not as calm as he looked. It seems you have chosen Konoha. You are my son, I support you no matter what you do. Fugaku wanted to continue talking, but then he stopped talking. He knew the situation was over. He looked at the seemingly calm and indifferent boy in front of him, and he knew how much pressure he was under. Woo woo woo. Itachi, please protect Sasuke, my dear Sasuke. Makoto's voice suddenly sounded, and tears could not help but flow from Makoto's eyes. Mom, I'm sorry. I can't let Konoha get dragged into a bigger war. Itachi's voice slowly sounded, and then he drew out the short blade behind him. Father, you should open your eyes too. Itachi's three Magatama quickly spun and then formed a dart shape. Uchiha Fugaku's eyes flashed with surprise, and then he said, You are my son, protect Sasuke. A trace of blood came out of the corner of Fugaku's mouth, and the same happened to Uchiha Makoto. Itachi looked closely and saw that the abdomens of the two were pierced by a kunai, and there were traces of powerful chakra bursts in their abdomens. It was obvious that the two used chakra to destroy their internal organs. Itachi turned his head reluctantly, then walked out of the room, and quickly formed seals with his hands, obviously not wanting his parents' remains to be obtained by the root ninjas. The powerful fire escape instantly caused a huge explosion, and then his eyes glared, and a trace of black flames appeared from his eyes. The building in front of him was covered by black flames and gradually dissipated. This is the flame of Amaterasu, which is known as the strongest flame. Even flames can be burned out. What Itachi didn't know was that just as he turned and left and released the flames, Naruto, who had been hiding underground for a long time, instantly used earth escape to wrap up the bodies of the two. He had this idea after seeing Itachi intend to cremate the bodies of Uchiha Fugaku and Makoto. If the body is preserved, there may be hope for resurrection in the future. In the ninja world, resurrection is not an impossible thing. After leaving, Naruto took the opportunity to grab a few pairs of Uchiha clan's Sharingan before the root ninja and then slipped away. Naruto has already discovered that the root ninja is collecting Sharingan, and Uchiha Obito, the masked man, is also collecting Sharingan. However, most of them have gone into Danzo's pocket. Naruto dare not stay for long, for fear that he will show his killing intention to Uchiha Obito and be discovered in advance. This will not be worth the loss. Naruto began to leave the Uchiha clan's residence from underground. Following Naruto, there were some Uchiha clan's little kids, a girl, and the bodies of Uchiha Fugaku and his wife. If Itachi saw that girl, he would be very familiar with her, because this unconscious girl is Uchiha Izumi. The girl who loves Uchiha Itachi. The reason why Naruto saved this girl is because this girl is talented enough and has a similar status to Obito in the Uchiha clan. She is not a core disciple of Uchiha. However, at such a young age, he has already opened the 3 Magatama Sharingan, and has not received many resources. If he is given to Shisui to train, he will probably be a good helper. After hastily settling them, Naruto suddenly had an idea. If all the root ninjas came out, then wouldn't Danzo's root be unguarded now? Danzo's root has a lot of good things. Earth escape technique. Nuclear submarine. Naruto used earth escape technique again and headed towards the root base. This time, Naruto found that the barrier of the root had become stronger. When Naruto came to the underground, he was a little dumbfounded. Because there was a sealing technique underground. Sealing technique. Turning the ground into steel. It is a technique that can make the ground as strong as steel. Danzo, you are really going too far. Naruto was dumbfounded this time. He didn't expect Danzo to be so cruel and set up such a wide range of sealing techniques in such a large underground. Naruto made up his mind and made several seals in a row, all of which were very short. Combined ninjutsu. Lava flow. Naruto's powerful chakra increased the power of the combined ninjutsu, and Naruto changed the nature of the ninjutsu, forming a powerful impact flow. The strong high temperature continued to erode the almost steel ground. If there were people around, Naruto might not be able to enter the root base at all. Unfortunately, now almost all the root members have gone to the Uchiha station. However, a few root ninjas still found something unusual. Not good. Someone is forcibly breaking through the ground defense with a powerful ninjutsu. There were only a few root ninjas left behind, but the nearly inhumane training made them regain their composure quickly. Where Naruto attacked, molten iron continued to flow down, and it would soon break through the ground defense. Naruto also felt that there were ninjas gathering. According to the chakra strength, there were only 2 Jonins. This discovery made Naruto laugh. 2 Jonins, he was more than enough to deal with. Increasing the output of chakra, the ninjutsu released by Naruto began to rotate continuously, increasing the impact. This requires extremely strong chakra control. Chakra control +5, ninjutsu proficiency +3. Before he could feel the voices that kept appearing in his mind, Naruto stared at the ground above. It was almost there. It was broken. Naruto suddenly drilled a big hole. At the moment when Naruto drilled up, several ninjutsu instantly hit Naruto. This powerful attack would instantly kill even a Jonin. Naruto had been on guard against them for a long time. With two seals, Naruto formed an upgraded version of the Earth-style, Earth Flow Wall. After blocking the attack, Naruto slapped the ground with both hands, injected chakra, and a huge earth dragon suddenly emerged from the big hole that had just been broken. This was because Naruto spent a lot of effort to study and simplify this Earth-style, Super Earth Dragon bullet to one that did not require seals, but only required contact with the ground. The powerful Earth Dragon instantly devoured the people in front of him. After the ninjutsu dissipated, Naruto looked at the ninjas again, and his body had been crushed to pieces. Naruto was relieved. In front of the enhanced version of the Earth Dragon bullet, these root ninjas were vulnerable. Naruto walked in front of the people and then began to explore the root base. Having been here once before, Naruto walked into one of the rooms. What caught his eye were some glassware. It seemed that this was the research room of the root. Naruto quickly scanned everything in front of him. In the huge glassware, formalin was soaked in several bodies with extremely miserable deaths. On the table were some densely packed records, which seemed to be test records. Without much gain, Naruto came to another room. This room seemed to be an archive room. Naruto casually flipped through several folders, which recorded some mission records of the route. Naruto opened a folder again, which recorded Danzo's dark mission. After Naruto flipped through several folders again, he knew that Danzo would definitely not put top secret things here. Walking through another room, it turned out to be the library of the route. Naruto took out a scroll, which recorded the training experience of wind escape ninjutsu. Picking up another scroll, it was a wind escape ninjutsu. Naruto looked around, several shelves, it seemed that the ninjutsu on each shelf had been classified. Walking to another shelf, Naruto was delighted to find that it recorded the encyclopedia of sealing technique training. He looked at another scroll, which was a detailed explanation of sealing techniques and barriers. It seems that most of the information on this shelf is about the practice of sealing techniques. He picked up another scroll, which was a method of practicing sealing techniques, the limb sealing technique. It was a very common ninjutsu. Naruto kept looking for useful scrolls, and found that they were all very common sealing techniques. Precious sealing techniques are not placed here. However, the knowledge of sealing techniques in front of Naruto made his scalp numb. He didn't expect that he needed to know so much knowledge to master sealing techniques. What's exciting is that these are all basic sealing techniques and some sealing techniques principles, such as 108 types of sealing techniques. Naruto is happy that with these basic sealing technique scrolls, as long as he understands them thoroughly, Naruto can become a master of sealing techniques. With the ability of God's reward for hard work, can't he even deduce a sealing technique? Naruto didn't check the scrolls again, because he felt that Danzo might be back, and the movement here should have been discovered by Danzo. Take out the pre-prepared sealing scroll, which is the scroll made of the sealing seal that Naruto got from Shisui before. It comes in handy at this moment. Move them all away. Soon Naruto robbed all the scrolls, and Naruto was a little distressed because there were still some scrolls that he didn't take away, because the scrolls were full. Naruto didn't destroy the remaining ones, so he kept them for next time. This knowledge is very precious, Naruto really can't bear to destroy it. Just stay with Danzo for a few years. I hope Danzo won't vomit blood when he comes back. Naruto didn't use too many ninjutsu to identify his identity, all of them are Earth Escape ninjutsu, let Danzo guess slowly. No wonder people say that robbery is the best way to get rich, it's true. For several days, Naruto did not see Sasuke. He should have entered the hospital just like in the original story. When Naruto left the root base, the Uchiha kids who woke up were also extremely shocked. Most of them opened their Sharingan on the spot after learning that the Uchiha clan was exterminated. 1 Magatama, 2 Magatama, and even some kids who had opened their Sharingan instantly became 3 Magatama Sharingan. Among these dozen people, the oldest was only 10 years old, but he had 3 Magatama Sharingan. His talent can be said to be very good. Unlike the second pillar, he opened 1 Magatama in anger when his clan was exterminated, and he didn't even know that he had opened his Sharingan for several years. He officially opened his Sharingan at the beginning of the original story. His parents and family were all killed, but he only opened 1 Magatama. After seeing Rin's death, Obito directly upgraded from 2 Magatama to Mangekyo. The gap between them is so big that the second pillar has become the object of ridicule by netizens. However, personal talent cannot be completely defined by opening the eyes. Sasuke's talent is still quite good, and the opening of the eyes of the Uchiha is more related to emotions. Naruto guessed that it was not entirely dependent on negative emotions to evolve, but it was difficult to have other strong emotional fluctuations except for negative emotions. After Naruto left the root base, Danzo returned to the root base and was immediately furious. His ninjutsu library was almost emptied, and the scene was almost full of traces of Earth Escape ninjutsu. Except for a few traces of ninjutsu, they should be the root ninjas who stayed behind. Such a strong Earth Escape attainment, basically only the ninjas of the Rock Village can have this ability. At this time, Danzo's good mood for obtaining the Sharingan was ruined a little. Regardless of whether he was a spy from the Rock Village, Danzo remembered that the only ninja who could have this Earth Escape attainment was the Rock Village, and there was no ninja in the ninja world who showed super strong Earth Escape attainments. Danzo looked at the messy root base. There were traces of Fire Escape and Earth Escape combined ninjutsu attacks on the surface. Although Sarutobi could also create the same attack, the third Hokage was with him at the time and it was impossible for him to come to the root to commit a crime. Investigate secretly. I will tear this thief into pieces. Danzo said to the root ninjas around him, his hands clenched so tightly that even his nails dug into the flesh. You can imagine how angry Danzo is now. Yes, Master Danzo. The root ninja knelt on one knee and said. These lost ninjutsu and some information, although not very important, are all important ninjutsu used to train ninjas. With these ninjutsu, more middle and upper level ninjas can be cultivated. It can increase the foundation of a ninja village. Although they can be rewritten, those ninjutsu are the collection of several generations of Konoha. How can he not be angry? The important ninjutsu and information were hidden by Danzo using sealing techniques. Danzo root also has a scroll similar to the Book of Sealing, which is used to collect some important ninjutsu and forbidden techniques. It can be regarded as a small book of sealing. As the Dark Ninja, someone actually stole it from him. Naruto faced the remaining little Uchiha clan members. After opening their Sharingan, they all shouted for revenge. They did not believe in Naruto at all, so Naruto could only convince them with virtue. After Naruto's Iron Fist, oh no. It was a sincere teaching, coupled with Naruto's ideological edification and spiritual suggestion, these little Uchiha clan members basically surrendered to Naruto. After that, Naruto sent these little Uchiha clan members to Shisui for ideological transformation again. After learning that the Uchiha clan was destroyed, especially when the murderer was Uchiha Itachi, Shisui remained silent. For the first time, he realized that it might be a mistake to give the hope of Uchiha to Itachi. Itachi was really instilled with will by the Konoha high-level officials as Naruto said. Naruto-kun. You are right, this world is sick, and only you can save it. I will spread your ideas, and then gradually change the ninja world. Shisui said firmly again, his tone full of determination. Shisui, don't take too big a step. We still need to take it slow. We also need more talents to lead the development of the world. This world is not the world of one person, but the world of everyone. Our existence is to be a pioneer. One day, the world will change because of our ideas. Naruto felt as if he had become a big liar at this moment. It must be said that the people in the ninja world are really easy to fool. Almost none of them can be considered bad people. Of course, there is one exception, that is Danzo. Naruto thinks Danzo is a bad guy. Naruto knows that when the people in this world are exposed to new ideas and it triggers the beginning of ideological reform, then the ninja world will one day become what he wants it to be. Naruto looked at Shisui again and said, Shisui, how is the organization developing now? Hearing Naruto talking about the organization, Shisui slowly came back to his senses and said excitedly, Naruto, our organization now has 1 yellow talent, 5 green talents, 26 blue talents, 66 indigo talents, and a number of purple talents. Naruto created the umbrella organization, so naturally he had to design a complete framework. Naruto defined the levels of the organization with 7 colors. With red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and purple as the levels, Naruto is the top red umbrella, and the umbrella's ideology is also called red ideology. After that, it increases and decreases layer by layer. The lowest level purple is ordinary people. As long as you recognize the umbrella organization, you can join the umbrella and become the most basic purple talent. This is the lowest level of existence, equivalent to ordinary people. Indigo talents are some people with a skill or the level of Genin. Blue is Chunin, green is Jonin, yellow is Elite Jonin, orange is Cage level powerhouse, and red is the leader, that is, Naruto. The closer to Naruto's level, the higher the status, and the closer to the core. Naruto has also made some promotion systems. Some scientists can even be promoted to the orange level as long as they perform well. And for other ninjas, it is not only the combat effectiveness that can be promoted. Those with special talents can also be promoted to better treatment. Only with better treatment can the organization burst out better cohesion and development momentum. As long as you have talent, you can become a superior person, so Naruto feels that some necessary systems must exist. There is no order without rules. This is also the case in the world where Naruto lived in his previous life. From elementary school to junior high school, from junior high school to high school, and in the company, you can be promoted step by step. The same is true in society. After hearing Shisui's report, Naruto couldn't help but be a little satisfied. This force is no worse than some small ninja villages. There is even Shisui. There are no shadow-level strongmen in small ninja villages. And Naruto also gave some of the ninjutsu he got from Danzo to Shisui. It was the first time that Shisui saw so many ninjutsu. Naruto would not rob Konoha's ninjutsu. But he was more happy. With so many ninjutsu, more talents can be cultivated. They will not hide the ninjutsu. After the two discussed, they formulated a points system. Contributions to the organization can be exchanged for points, and points can be exchanged for most resources. How far you can do depends on yourself. After that, after learning about Shisui's development again, Naruto directly disbanded the Shadow Clone. Naruto, who was in Konoha, naturally knew about Shisui's development, which was easier than Naruto imagined. It is very likely that Naruto's red thoughts have a huge impact on the people in the ninja world. The road that Naruto has described is basically a real road of peace that can be clearly seen. So Shisui was able to develop the organization to this extent in such a short period of time. Many wandering ninjas are basically persecuted, and some are pure bad guys. Shisui did not absorb them into the organization. And Shisui used the country of waves as a base and began to constantly promote the idea of umbrella protection, and included a wide range of civilians in the scope of absorption, because Naruto knew that these people were the foundation. After all, ninjas are a minority, and more are these ordinary people. And these ordinary people, when entering the umbrella, are basically the lowest purple level, and when they have a skill or a more important skill, they can be upgraded to a higher level of existence. The most common level basically does not participate in the affairs of the umbrella, which is equivalent to registering an identity here with the umbrella. However, in Shisui's eyes, the future umbrella will be the ruler of the entire ninja world, and these people are equivalent to the people of the umbrella. After Shisui was instructed by Naruto, he began to focus on the combination of ninjutsu and life, no longer pursuing huge lethality, reducing the power, and changing the form of ninjutsu. This is very simple. After that, some ninjutsu were completely transformed. If some earth escape ninjutsu can be used to cultivate the land. The ninjutsu is lightly launched, which is comparable to hundreds of people. Ninjutsu used for labor is really the liberation of productivity. Shisui also began to publish the chakra training method under his rule, and Naruto was ready to popularize chakra in the ninja world. He was even ready to industrialize chakra. In Naruto's view, chakra is not only an energy that can be used in war, but it can help the residents of the ninja world live better. For example, the earth escape and rice planting technique improved by Naruto and Shisui. Use earth escape to build a smoother road. In this world, ninjas basically do not produce and rely on task money to earn commissions. The daimyo is responsible for part of the expenses of the ninja village, and the ninja village also has the responsibility to protect the country. This is also the reason why the daimyo is above the ninja, because the daimyo holds the lifeblood of the ninja, and the ninja also needs to eat. This is the one country one village system formulated by the first generation Hokage, Hashirama Senju. The daimyo and other rulers had to support it because Hashirama Senju's power was too terrifying at the time. There are pros and cons for the daimyo. Especially in the island country of Wave Country, a ninja who acts as a fisherman with ninjutsu can make a lot of money. A sea-level water prison technique, after changing the chakra form, can directly cover the fish in the water, and the harvest is much more than that of ordinary fishermen. Chakra is divided into form change and property change. The important thing is the property change, but the property change is basically studied by the Jonin. In the original work, Naruto's wind escape Rasenshuriken is the nature change of chakra. After injecting the attributellus spiral into the wind attribute, it becomes a wind escape Rasenshuriken. The form change is much simpler. Like Chidori, Sasuke's Chidori flow is a ninjutsu after the form change. The power has not changed too much, but it can be more convenient to fight the enemy. A fireball can be made bigger or smaller, or even square. These are all changes in form, and the power has not changed much. Some will also increase the amount of chakra used. Therefore, it is much simpler to reduce the power of ninjutsu and combine it with life, because it does not require strong power. During this period, Shisui also witnessed the changes in the Land of Waves. The original Land of Waves was poor and destitute, and it was a country without a daimyo. Shisui walked slowly and saw many people who condensed chakra. Some people may be old and may only be a genin or chunin in this life. However, after having chakra, you can learn the revised life-related ninjutsu, which can be used for plowing fields, even transplanting rice, and other purposes. Not everyone can extract chakra. If you can't extract chakra, you can also practice physical skills. Although this may be much weaker, this world is not the end of the law era in Naruto's previous life. The ninja world is not just about chakra, but more about the natural energy that permeates the air. In addition, the body cells of people in the ninja world are about 3 times more than in the previous life. After training, they can also obtain power far beyond Naruto's previous life. Master Shisui, you are here. At this time, a man came over and said to Shisui happily, and his behavior showed great respect for Shisui. His name is Keisha, and he was rescued by Shisui from a bad businessman named Cardo. When Shisui came to the Land of Waves, this man named Keisha was almost killed by Cardo. Shisui rescued Keisha and used this as a base to spread the red ideology. At the beginning, he encountered some difficulties and resistance. After getting the help of Keisha, Shisui felt at home in this village. The organization quickly grew and developed, especially after Zabuza joined. They also joined the organization one after another. After Shisui killed Cardo, he accepted him. After stopping the caravan and executing some bad guys, he began to guide the Kingdom of Waves to become prosperous. Because Naruto said that you can't just shout slogans without doing practical things. Only when others see that life has really improved, will they recognize you. Under Naruto's secret guidance, Shisui gradually had his own ideas about business and economic development. And he was also immersed in the smiles of others, which was the peace he expected. The Kingdom of Waves is not big. It only took Shisui a few months to take the Kingdom of Waves into his pocket. This was inseparable from the help of Keisha. Keisha was the stepfather of Inari in the original work, the one who was killed by Cardo. Keisha was previously killed by the people in this village. People call him a hero, and he is very popular. Now he is assisting Shisui in managing the affairs of the village. In the umbrella rating, his level has reached the blue level, which is equivalent to a chunin, because he has good management skills. As Shisui kept walking, more and more people kept greeting Shisui, because their lives now were all brought by Shisui. Shisui not only taught them to use ninjutsu to plow the land, plant rice, and use water escape to catch seafood. Establishing a caravan to sell goods, making the Wave Country rich, and hiring residents of the Wave Country to work, according to what Naruto said, this is called work for relief. And becoming a member of the Umbrella can enjoy a salary that is 20% higher than that of ordinary people. Basically, all the people hired joined Umbrella. Those who actually benefited from it increasingly agreed with Umbrella, and coupled with the concept of Umbrella, these people soon really threw themselves into the arms of Umbrella. Even when Shisui was recruiting ninjas, after hearing what Shisui said, they burst into tears, claiming that this was the only way to truly bring peace to the world, That the people in the ninja world were not stupid, and that they had the thinking of adults very early on. They were just imprisoned by old ideas before, but after being exposed to Naruto's red ideas, they knew very well how big a storm this could cause, and they were willing to practice this path with their lives. The next day after learning that Sasuke was hospitalized, Naruto took Lee to visit Sasuke. Not only them, but most of the classmates in the class came. At this moment, Sasuke had changed a lot, and his whole body exuded a cold breath. Sasuke's appearance scared the female classmates in the class and they dared not approach Sasuke. At the same time, they felt more sympathy for Sasuke. Sasuke must have become like this because of a big change in his family. They put down the flowers silently and stopped to look at Sasuke. Sasuke looked at his former classmates, and his face did not change at all. Only when he saw Naruto and Lee, his expression moved slightly, as if he wanted to say something, but he didn't say it in the end. Seeing Sasuke's appearance, Naruto began to say, "Everyone, don't gather around. Uchiha Sasuke needs to rest." As soon as Naruto finished speaking, Iruka also said, "Classmates, go out and let Sasuke have a good rest." Everyone began to retreat, and Iruka gently closed the door of the room. The door clicked and then fell into silence. Sasuke hugged his knees blankly, his eyes were empty, no one knew what he was thinking, and finally he hung his head between his knees, tears slowly flowing down, his eyes full of resentment. The aura on his body also gradually began to become gloomy. Who knew that when he was told by the third generation that his brother had killed all the members of the clan, and even his parents were killed, Sasuke simply couldn't believe it. But he saw with his own eyes that Itachi was constantly slaughtering his own people, just to test his own capacity. How ridiculous. Can't the clan members be compared with the so-called capacity? A light of hatred slowly flashed in Sasuke's eyes, a touch of red jumped into his eye sockets, and a Magatama Sharingan. Suddenly a voice sounded in Sasuke's mind. Sasuke was sure that he was not mistaken, the voice sounded directly in his mind, not outside. Am I under an illusion? Sasuke looked around, and Naruto's figure slowly appeared. Just as Sasuke was about to speak, Naruto's voice sounded in his mind. Don't talk, be careful, the wall has ears, Sasuke, please calm down, this matter is not that simple. Naruto's voice sounded in Sasuke's mind. Do you feel a chakra point in your mind? Touch that point with your chakra. Forget it, I'll pull you. A suction force appeared, and the next moment, Sasuke felt himself being pulled into a space, and Naruto's figure had appeared in the space. Naruto. What do you mean? What is going on? Sasuke's emotions soon became slightly unstable, and Naruto found that his consciousness space became unstable. This is the first time I have seen this, it seems that I need to continue studying. Sasuke, think about it, no matter how talented your brother is, can he really kill all your people in such a short time? As soon as Naruto finished speaking, his furious look soon froze. Naruto's words instantly hit Sasuke's heart. Could Uchiha Itachi really kill all the Uchiha so quickly? Although in his heart, Uchiha Itachi has always been the most powerful, but his father and even some elite Jonin in the family were not so easily slaughtered. At this time Naruto said again, if it was really Uchiha Itachi alone, then how come not a single person escaped? Don't they have the ability to hold Uchiha Itachi back, or some to come and tip off? Naruto's words stunned Sasuke again. Yes, how could there not be even one person asking for help? As long as Uchiha Itachi was held back, others could come to Konoha for help. At this moment, he knew that there was a mystery in this matter that he could not understand. Tell me, what happened? Sasuke realized that this matter might not be as the third Hokage said. Calm down. You are too weak now. What will it matter if you know the truth? Naruto's slightly sarcastic words made Sasuke very unhappy. He threw a punch directly. Naruto stretched out his hand and held Sasuke's fist in his hand. With a light push, Sasuke was pushed back to the bed by Naruto. Sasuke's eyes widened instantly. He had always known Naruto's strength. Although he had always hidden his strength, he thought that the gap between them was not that big. At least he was not the kind of person who could be easily defeated by Naruto in one move. Don't show your emotions easily. Do you really think that Konoha has no support and really doesn't know what happened to Uchiha? Sasuke was stunned again. He didn't know why he didn't think of anything Naruto said. When Naruto mentioned it, he felt that everything was so weird. The case of his family's annihilation is really not that simple. Sasuke lowered his head instantly, and then said in the consciousness space, "What do I need to do?" Naruto nodded with satisfaction. He is worthy of being the second pillar. He just needs to be beaten. Otherwise, I always feel that the sky is clear and I am okay again. What you need to do is to become stronger and stronger, and then you will be qualified to explore the truth. Naruto said slowly, and then disappeared in the consciousness space. The two returned to reality and looked at each other. The half-open window blew the white curtains. The breeze brushed through Naruto's hair, and Naruto's sapphire-like eyes revealed a deep and mysterious. "I'll talk to you later, Sasuke-san." Naruto's figure flashed through the window. After Naruto left, a figure on the roof quickly disappeared. In the Hokage's office, the third generation exhaled a large cloud of smoke, then looked at the half-kneeling Anbu, and said, "Are you saying that Naruto went to visit Sasuke again later?" "Yes, third Hokage, but they didn't seem to be happy." Naruto defeated Sasuke with one punch. Uchiha Sasuke was very excited when he saw Uzumaki Naruto and suddenly hit Naruto. The Anbu continued. Uzumaki Naruto seemed to want to say something to Uchiha Sasuke, leaving only one sentence to talk to him later. The Anbu didn't know about the conversation between the two, so he told the third Hokage everything he saw. "Well, go down." The Sandaime ordered, and the Anbu used the instant body technique to leave the Hokage's office. It seems that Naruto's strength is hidden. The third generation blew out a huge smoke ring, and then said softly. Although Naruto hid his strength, it was not surprising. Naruto had so much training, and it was not incomprehensible that he was stronger than Uchiha Sasuke. As the descendant of the fourth generation Hokage and Uzumaki Kushina, isn't it normal for him to have some talent? The third generation estimated that Naruto's strength should be around the elite genin. Well, if he knew a few more ninjutsu, he might be at the level of Chunin. Naruto is only 8 years old now. By the time he graduates, if he is taught carefully before, Naruto is likely to reach the level of Jonin before the age of 12. At the same time, as the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, he will definitely be a Kage-level existence in the future. And the third generation cannot let Naruto's strength improve too fast, otherwise it will be difficult to control. I haven't had a relationship with Naruto for a long time. The third generation murmured, with a smile on his face. It was effortless for Uchiha, the great threat, to disappear, and he just moved his lips. The land of waves. Boom. A huge explosion sounded, and a mountain was blown apart. Great. Finally blew up the mountain. This is simply the power of God. Is this the power of science that Lord Shisui talked about? The voices of discussion continued to ring out, and the surroundings were filled with people from the land of waves. Uchiha Shisui stood in the distance and looked at the scene in front of him. The land of waves is an island country. Under his leadership, a bridge had been built to build a gateway to the outside world. Standing next to Shisui were the Uchiha kids that Naruto had brought with him. Now, after being brainwashed by Shisui, they have regarded Naruto as the savior. Only Naruto can save the world. After being influenced by the Red ideology, more than a dozen Uchiha kids have become more fanatical and have become Naruto's loyal supporters. Even the Uchiha from before. Instructor, now everyone has accepted the reality. And he is deeply immersed in Naruto's red thoughts. The thoughts brought by Naruto are definitely impactful in the ninja world. If it was before, he would think that Naruto might be a lunatic, but after learning that the Uchiha clan was exterminated, he felt that it didn't matter whether he was a lunatic or not. When he learned the news that the Uchiha clan was exterminated, the gray world instantly enveloped him. It was Naruto and Shisui who gave him a new mission. That is to follow Naruto to change the world. It's a pity that his talent is not enough, and he didn't awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan, but his pupil power has become a lot stronger. His strength has also been promoted to the elite Jonin. Kisha. Clear the rocks and build a passage. Shisui ordered. Shisui had already recruited some scientists. Although he didn't understand why Naruto recruited these ordinary people, after seeing the power of their so-called knowledge, Shisui's horizons were opened again. It turns out that ordinary people can also have the power to split mountains and rocks. The power that blew up the mountain just now was the power of explosives made by ordinary people. It is more powerful than the detonating talisman, you only need to increase the equivalent, and it can be made with some raw materials. No special techniques are required. Yes, Lord Shisui. Keisha answered enthusiastically. Keisha said to the people behind him, and then dozens of people stood up. Everyone clapped their hands, and a earth escape ninjutsu inherited from Naruto was used. Chakra was injected into the ground, and the blasted rocks and soil were immediately cleared by everyone. Shisui looked at everyone with satisfaction. This is the organization's infrastructure brigade. It is so easy to use it for construction. Shisui is now more and more familiar with using ninjutsu in people's livelihood, not just in war. Liberating productivity can strengthen economic development. Shisui now understands it almost. If a ninja is put in Naruto's previous life, one person can be used as dozens of people. Under Naruto's guidance, Shisui established a chamber of commerce through the ability of ninja. It is called the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce. It mainly sells some aquatic products and food, weapons, and so on. Dozens of ninjas can easily catch a large number of aquatic products and sell them all over the ninja world. At the same time, there has been a breakthrough in the use of chakra to cultivate food. Not only has the output increased several times, but the growth time has also been shortened by nearly half. This made the wave country rich quickly, but under Shisui's development, the wave country is still a backward country in the eyes of other countries. In just half a year, the umbrella organization has grown again. After casting a wide net, they actually found several good chakra seedlings. Shisui put them into the school under the umbrella organization. The school is mainly under the charge of Zabuza. With the scroll that Naruto snatched from the roots, it is easy for him to set up a school. But Naruto will not hide his knowledge. As long as you have the ability, you can get what you want. Everything you want. In the umbrella team, ability is paramount, which makes the umbrella team full of enthusiasm, and the team cohesion is also extremely high. This time, Shisui is going to build a factory to manufacture weapons. After Naruto's guidance, he witnessed the power of the assembly line that Naruto mentioned, which was simply amazing. In the ninja world, technology exists, but the development of technology in the ninja world is extremely deformed. Some places are highly developed, while some places are extremely backward. For example, the Rain country already has high-rise buildings, and the style is a bit similar to cyberpunk. In the Fire country, most people still use horse-drawn carriages for travel. The Snow country already has trains. There are even computers in some places. But for some reason, technology in life is developing rapidly, but there is almost no development in combat. Maybe it's because of the existence of ninjas. When ordinary people encounter something, they basically pay ninjas to come forward. Ordinary people pay commissions. Ninjas are responsible for completing tasks, and in fact, the relationship between them is an employment relationship. In the past 6 months, the strength of the umbrella has been strengthened, and Shisui has absorbed some rebellious ninjas, and at the same time, some of the ninjas he has trained have also grown. However, among the rebellious ninjas, Shisui no longer intends to absorb them, because except for a few rebellious ninjas, some rebellious ninjas are often concerned by other major ninja villages, which may lead to early exposure. According to Naruto's development policy, they will accumulate food and slowly become kings. One day, they will burst out the power of the umbrella in the ninja world. They will eventually determine the direction of the world. After Keisha and everyone's cleanup, the mountain was soon razed to the ground. Although Keisha is old, his ninja talent is at the genius level, but it's a pity that he started practicing a little late. He has good leadership, so Shisui promoted him to be his deputy. Since the establishment of the assembly line, Shisui has also dumped some weapons and collected huge wealth. Previously, most of the ninja tools were supplied from the land of craftsmen, a small part was made by the ninja village, and some were made by families. The forging of ninja tools was very backward, and they were basically made by blacksmiths, with low production efficiency. The reason why Shisui was able to develop so fast was actually because he was not short of money. Under Naruto's guidance, it was too easy to make money. At present, the largest income is still seafood. After all, it is caught from the sea and has little cost. But what Shisui didn't know was that their development had attracted the attention of Mei Terumi. Recently, the sales volume of seafood in the land of water has dropped rapidly. The Hidden Mist Village, which had just survived the Blood Mist policy, has become the weakest among the 5 major countries. Mei Terumi is of course eager to develop the Hidden Mist Village, but she didn't expect that in addition to the missions, even the sales of seafood have decreased recently. The information on the table was collected by the Anbu. It was written on it that the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce not only established its own brand, but also had a series of promotional plans. What kind of membership system? Bundled sales, buy more, get more, and various marketing methods. Mei Terumi had a headache. These twists and turns made her confused. How could there be so many ways to buy something? But Mei Terumi could also see the huge crisis contained in it. If this continues, the seafood market in the land of water will be completely squeezed out by the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce. The person who came up with these sales plans is simply a genius. Check it for me. See who owns this seven-colored Chamber of Commerce. Mei Terumi rubbed her head with a headache. Now the Kurigakure village has just abolished the Blood Mist policy, and everything is in ruins. Due to the previous Blood Mist policy, the number of ninjas in the Kurigakure village has dropped sharply, and even the number of missions has been reduced a lot. I wanted to rely on the unique seafood of the land of water to alleviate some of the Kurigakure village's economic burden, but I didn't expect that a seven-colored chamber of commerce would suddenly appear in the ninja world to snatch business. It's really not going well. Fortunately, it's not just my own ninja village, even Konoha is now in a recovery period. More than half a year ago, the Uchiha clan was exterminated, which shocked the ninja world. However, Kurigakure could not protect itself at that time, so even if Konoha declined again, Kurigakure would find it difficult to get some wool from Konoha. Other ninja villages are ready to move, but because the Third Ninja World War stopped for a few years, they are almost all in the recovery period. I heard that Kazekage Rasa went to Pan for gold in person to maintain finances. It's not much better than Kurigakure. The Land of Lightning and the Land of Earth are not much better. They are both in the recovery stage, and the ninjas in the village are also very war-weary, otherwise the Fourth Reikage might have sent troops to Konoha again. However, Konoha is still a lean camel that is bigger than a horse. Even without the Uchiha clan and the 3 ninjas, there are still major families, Ino Shika Cho, etc. Time passed slowly. 2 figures kept colliding, and one of them formed a seal with his hands at a very fast speed. Fire style. Great Dragon Fire Technique. A huge fire dragon spewed out from Sasuke's mouth. Wind style. Great Breakthrough. A powerful hurricane was spit out by Naruto, and AC level ninjutsu was used by Naruto with the power of a B level. And it was not just an ordinary B level. Wind style restrains lightning style, but fire style restrains wind style, and Naruto used C level wind style to offset Sasuke's B level fire style. Suddenly, dozens of shurikens were thrown over, and Naruto moved his feet and flew directly into the sky. Rain kick severed sky. Sasuke kept backing away and dodging the kicks. The air waves hit the ground and formed smoke. Naruto disappeared again, and when he reappeared, he was already behind Sasuke. He formed a seal again, and Sasuke wanted to release the substitution technique. At some point, a hand stretched out from under his feet, grabbed his ankle, and pulled him into the ground. Is this the Earth Escape Heart Decapitation Technique? When was it activated? Shadow Clone. Smoke. After a short period of thinking, Sasuke knew what happened. He couldn't help but smile bitterly. During this time, he already knew how unfathomable Naruto's strength was. Shocking chakra. Super strong chakra control. And the terrifying attainments in physical skills, even the ninjutsu is terribly perverted. I don't know where Naruto learned the ninjutsu, and even he learned some from Naruto. Sasuke, I've told you before that ninjutsu doesn't necessarily require so many seals. You have to learn to simplify the seals. At this time, Naruto's laughter reached Sasuke's ears. Sasuke rolled his eyes at Naruto. He really thought that everyone had such a strong chakra control ability as you. Sasuke can now do 5 seals per second. Sasuke has also learned a little bit of Naruto's reduced version of the seal ninjutsu. Sasuke found that he couldn't do it with his current chakra control. Half a year ago, after being discharged from the hospital, Sasuke came to find Naruto again to ask the truth, but was dragged into a fight by Naruto. The final result can be imagined. Sasuke was severely beaten up. In the end, Naruto told Sasuke that even if he knew the truth without strong strength, what could he do? In the end, Sasuke had to obediently ask Naruto to teach him to practice. Although he had practiced physical skills with Naruto before, he only practiced together occasionally, and most of the time he went home to practice. And now he finally saw how terrible Naruto's strength is. Sasuke estimated that even the teachers in the ninja school could not be Naruto's opponents. Do you think everyone is a pervert like you? Sasuke said unhappily. He had only practiced climbing trees and treading water for a short time, and his chakra control was no match for Naruto. Naruto walked over happily and ignored the voice in his head. Wind style great breakthrough proficiency +3. Naruto got Sasuke out, then hugged Sasuke and prepared to eat. This time Naruto did not plan to cook for himself. He smoothed out the traces of training around him, and then led Sasuke to the Seven Colors restaurant for dinner. That's right, the Seven Colors restaurant is also Naruto's property and belongs to the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce, so naturally there is no situation where Naruto is not welcome. Compared with the original simple cuisine, the Seven Colors restaurant was passed down by Naruto using illusion. Naruto's cooking skills have long been practiced to a very advanced level. With some seasonings, although the taste is a little worse than what Naruto made himself, it quickly swept Konoha. Became comparable to Ichiraku ramen and barbecue. Ichiraku ramen and barbecue are only visited every now and then, and cannot be eaten as a staple food often, while the Seven Colors restaurant is almost full every day, which makes Naruto almost smile. The Land of Water. The Hidden Mist Village. Mei Terumi looked at the information that the Anbu had found out. The Seven-Colored Chamber of Commerce had emerged more than half a year ago, and its products and sales model were very popular. People in every place would unconsciously maintain the existence of the Seven-Colored Chamber of Commerce, because wherever the Seven-Colored Chamber of Commerce went, it would bring development opportunities to the local area. Most of the people in the Seven-Colored Chamber of Commerce were ordinary people, and there were also ninjas. At the same time, in Mei Terumi's investigation, some ninjas respected the people of the Seven-Colored Chamber of Commerce very much, and it did not look like an employment relationship. Because in the ninja world, even if it was an employment relationship, the employer would respect the hired ninjas very much. What Mei Terumi did not know was that these were all ninjas under the umbrella. After being influenced by their thoughts, they would not look down on ordinary people, and even respect them because these people had unique abilities. Each of these people became Naruto's diehards. They were all people in distress. After being rescued by Shisui, they joined the umbrella and became a member of the Seven-Colored Chamber of Commerce to earn money for the organization. After Naruto's relationship with the Nine Tails became increasingly friendly, he shared the Nine Tails' ability to perceive good and evil from the Nine Tails. This ability allowed Naruto to easily find out those who had malicious intentions towards him. Only if he has good intentions towards him, Naruto will give him a high position. Mei Terumi carefully analyzed the information, and she deeply felt that the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce was not simple. These systems alone were enough to prove that there was a very wise man behind the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce. These systems were simply a stroke of genius. This made Mei Terumi deeply interested in the person behind the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce. Come here. Following Mei Terumi's order, an Anbu appeared in front of Mei Terumi. Continue investigating the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce, I want to know more information about her. Yes. After the Anbu disappeared, Mei Terumi licked her rosy lips, her beautiful face revealed a hint of charm, and her eyes shone with a strange light. According to her current understanding of the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce, the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce must make a lot of money. If the Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce is taken under its control, the Hidden Mist Village will not lack funds for development. The Hidden Mist Village can also develop faster. The Seven Colors Chamber of Commerce, Mei Terumi is determined to win. Naruto went back and forth between training and the ninja school as usual. In daily life, he would tease Hinata. After Naruto's constant practice, Hinata no longer fainted when faced with some of Naruto's teasing. But she still showed a shy expression. Naruto also liked this girl more and more. Naruto stroked Hinata's hair and looked at Hinata as if no one was around. Naruto-kun, don't, there are so many people watching. Hinata whispered, her fair neck was already pink. The people around also looked at the two with ambiguous eyes. The relationship between Naruto and Hinata has long been known to everyone, and Naruto has never restrained himself. Hinata, don't be afraid, they are just jealous and envious. Naruto said with a smile, and then held the girl's hand. Naruto-kun. Hinata lowered her head again in embarrassment, not daring to speak. The other classmates also laughed when they saw this scene. In the past 2 years, Naruto has been very popular in Class A, and Naruto's strength is also ranked in the top 3 in the class. Naturally, he is respected by his classmates. After all, this world still respects the strong. After all, most of the people in this class are family members, and they don't have much hostility towards Naruto. Those who are born as civilian ninjas will naturally not be hostile to Naruto, because Naruto's performance is obvious to all. Naruto is no longer the last one, and he shows what a genius should show. Soon, Iruka walked into the classroom, and the noisy scene suddenly quieted down, and Naruto stopped flirting with Hinata. It was still the same old teaching, and Naruto was not interested at all, because he had mastered what Iruka taught. The courses in the ninja school are divided into theoretical courses and practical courses. Practice is. It was combat and kunai training, etc. In fact, there were many things to learn in the theoretical class, such as intelligence gathering, hand seals, riddles, will of fire, trap making, etc. It was no less than what he learned in his previous life. However, with Naruto's ability to remember everything he saw, he easily mastered these skills and mastered them with the help of God's reward for hard work. After school, Naruto said goodbye to Hinata again, and ran to the place where he practiced with Sasuke. After Naruto left, a forest shook slightly. Naruto and Sasuke moved forward quickly, but the speed was not very outrageous. The two looked at each other, and then ran forward again. When they arrived at their destination, Xiaoli had already started practicing. Xiaoli often used Might Guy to ask for leave to practice physical skills. This was still taught by Naruto. Xiaoli's theoretical class was just a casual study, and Naruto did not need Xiaoli to become a real ninja. It would be great to be the same as Might Guy. Naruto. Sasuke. After Xiaoli greeted him, he started to practice again. The amount of training was so large that even Sasuke couldn't help but smack his lips. At this time, Naruto suddenly said, "Come out." After Naruto finished speaking, the figure in the dark was a little surprised, and then he came out when several people pointed at him. What surprised Naruto was that the person in front of him was actually, his brother-in-law. Ninki. Why are you here? Xiaoli said in astonishment. The person who came was Hyuga Ninki. The reason why he came here was that he heard that Miss Hinata seemed to be close to someone called a demon fox recently. He came to see Naruto's ability, but he didn't expect that he was discovered directly. Rock Lee. Humph. Hyuga Neji showed a disdainful expression. In his impression, Rock Lee was just a last-place guy. He only knew physical skills and would have limited achievements in the future. He was not a member of their Hyuga clan, and would only be a mediocre existence in the future. Rock Lee did not use his true strength in daily life, so now Hyuga Neji did not know Rock Lee's strength, and even Might Guy only knew a little about it. Naruto was probably the only one who knew Rock Lee's current strength best, and Sasuke also knew it almost. Hyuga Neji looked at Rock Lee with disdain, and stayed on Sasuke for a moment, and then looked at Naruto. Naruto was wearing a red and white divine robe. He looked stronger than an ordinary child, and his physical skills should be pretty good. His yellow hair was flowing, and his blue pupils revealed calmness, without the slightest fluctuation. No wonder he is so close to Miss Hinata. Naruto looks good now, and his performance in the ninja school is said to be okay. He knew about Uzumaki Naruto because one of their clan members told him that the boy was very close to Hinata. You are Uzumaki Naruto, right? Leave Miss Hinata, she is beyond your reach, the future heir to the main family. Hyuga Neji said in a deep voice. His tone was full of unkindness. Naruto was a little stunned. This brother-in-law came here to threaten him. Is there such a thing in the original book? Oh, I almost forgot, it should be the butterfly effect caused by my contact with Hinata. But Naruto doesn't care about the plot, the world will be turned upside down by him in the future. With strong strength, he can naturally cope with the changes that will happen next. Naruto licked his lips and looked at Hyuga Neji with interest. Hyuga Neji was also the person Naruto wanted to win over. He should still be confused now. Shrouded in the despair of the caged bird. Originally, he wanted to wait until he had made some progress in the sealing technique before looking for Hyuga Neji, but he didn't expect that he would come to his doorstep now. Half a year later, Naruto should be able to make some progress in the sealing book from Danzo with the ability of God's reward for hard work. The more he studied the sealing technique, the more profound Naruto felt that the sealing technique was. However, with the ability of God's reward for hard work, Naruto's mastery of the sealing technique is no less than that of an average person in 10 years of study. But it is not enough to solve the sealing technique of the caged bird. Naruto raised the corner of his mouth, took a few steps forward, and said, "Why should I leave her? This is not something you can decide. You are just an ordinary person, and she is destined to be the future head of the Zong family. No matter how cowardly she is, this is what is destined. No one can resist the arrangement of fate. Your status is so different, please stop harassing Miss Hinata." Hyuga Neji suddenly became a little excited. He had learned the news before, how could an orphan get the favor of Miss Hinata? That's why he came out to stop Naruto and Hinata from being together. As a member of the branch family, it is his responsibility to protect the main family. And with Hinata's status as a member of the main family, how could the elders in the family and Hyuga Hiyashi allow them to be together? Interesting. You keep saying that fate is predetermined, but why are you so excited? If you don't think fate is predetermined, then why do you keep talking about it? Obviously. You are also fighting against fate, aren't you? Naruto said with a smile, and he found that Hyuga Neji had changed his expression. Shut up. What do you know? Hinata Neji roared fiercely. At the same time, his body rushed towards Naruto. Gentle fist technique Bagua 36 palms. Looking at Ninki who was coming straight at him, Naruto showed a strange look. Can Ninki use Bagua 36 palms at this time? Thinking of Hyuga Ninki in the original work, it's a pity that he was not trained by the main family. If the resources were in place, the achievements might be higher. In the original work, after Naruto's change, Ninki also changed, but Naruto did not like this change, and the original Naruto was not what he liked. A lot of empty words, but not much practical work was done. After all, it was a problem of vision and thinking. Although the ninja world was saved in the end, it did not fundamentally change the ninja world. This is just like Senju Hashirama. Now Hyuga Neji is like a bird in a cage with broken wings. He wants to fight against fate, but he is extremely desperate. In the original work, he can turn the tide by understanding the unique skills of the clan. Isn't this his fight against fate? He always says that fate cannot be changed, but he has a glimmer of hope in his heart, eager to break free from the shackles of the caged bird. But this time, Naruto will not let him hurt Hinata again, even if it is his brother-in-law. Iron block iron wall. Naruto did not dodge, but directly used the iron block to block Neji's attack. Neji's attacks kept hitting Naruto's body, just like hitting a stone. When the attack was over, Neji felt that his hands were shaking slightly. In fact, even a stone could not withstand Neji's attack, but Naruto directly used his body to block his attack. Neji's eyes widened immediately, looking at Naruto in disbelief. What's wrong with you? Neji said in a deep voice. At this time, he also realized that the boy in front of him was not as simple as he looked. Naruto's body suddenly became as hard as iron. Naruto did not answer Neji's question directly, but said slowly, Hyuga Neji. The number one genius of the branch family. The son of Hyuga Hizashi, the younger brother of the current Hyuga clan leader Hyuga Hiyashi. What a pity, it's just a branch family. Naruto shook his head and continued, it must be painful for you to be a bird in a cage. After Naruto said this, Ninki suddenly looked at Naruto, his eyes flashing with light, and gritted his teeth and said, how did you know? Such a core issue is not something that a student of a ninja school can know. You hate the Zong family. You hate the Zong family for killing your father, right? Naruto spoke again. Shut up. As if his fig leaf had been torn off, Neji rushed towards Naruto again, but was kicked back by Rock Lee. Don't hurt Naruto-kun. Without having time to think about why Rock Lee was so powerful, Neji rushed towards Naruto again. Don't block me. The last one. Chakra condensed in his hand, and he slapped it out, but it hit nothing. Rock Lee turned into an afterimage and hit Hyuga Neji heavily. Only then did Hyuga Neji realize that this existence, whom he regarded as the last one, actually defeated him. Do you know why your father died? Naruto asked the soul-searching question again, which stunned Neji. Then Nechi said angrily, this is all the fault of the main family. It's because of the main family that my father died. Nechi's voice was a little broken and full of hatred. It's all because the main family made my father take the blame. That's why my father died. Hinata Neji is still young after all, and Naruto easily controlled the rhythm. Oh. Do you think so? Is it really that simple? Naruto said with a hint of disdain. Your father was trying to prevent Konoha from being attacked by the hidden cloud village. At that time, Konoha was weak, the fourth Hokage had died, the three ninjas had left, and Konoha fell into an unprecedented period of weakness. In order to avoid causing a war, the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen and the envoys from the hidden cloud village were also aggressive and kept forcing Konoha to hand over the murderer who killed their companions. They are a big family, and it was obviously the other party who wanted to kidnap Hinata, and Hyuga Hiyashi killed the other party, but in the end it was the third Hokage who wanted Hinata to compromise and hand over Hyuga Hiyashi, who is your uncle. Your father took the blame for Hyuga Hiyashi in order to ensure that the Byakugan would not be obtained by the people of the hidden cloud village. Naruto slowly told the truth about the death of Hyuga Neji's father. Neji's eyes also began to change. Isn't it ridiculous? Although your father was not a member of the main family who was sent out to die, the old stubborn people in the main family would not allow Hinata Hiyashi to be handed over, so your father became a victim of politics. It was clearly the fault of the hidden cloud village, but the third Hokage asked the Hyuga clan to compromise. The third Hokage is old and is no longer the ninja hero he used to be. Naruto's voice was deafening and passed into Hyuga Neji's mind. Konoha is far from being as simple as you think, and your father's death is not as simple as it seems. If Konoha insisted on going to war at that time, if the attitude of the third Hokage was tougher, maybe your father would not have been in trouble, and the hidden cloud village at that time would not have gone to war with Konoha. At that time, the fourth Raikage of the hidden cloud village had only been in office for a short time, and his strength was still in the recovery period, so naturally he would not go to war with Konoha, so your father died in vain. Naruto said again, and the strong words made Neji a little bit unacceptable. He punched Naruto, but was easily taken by Naruto. Naruto grabbed Hyuga Neji's hands, kicked him away, and continued, Konoha was so prosperous, but it ushered in the weakest period under the rule of Konoha F4. It was really a corrupt rule. Naruto looked at Hyuga Neji again, and it was obvious that Neji was very shocked now. Xiao Li on the side completely filtered out what Naruto said, and Sasuke looked thoughtful. Neji collapsed on the ground, looking at Naruto in disbelief. Obviously, the guy opposite was about the same age as himself, but why did he know so much about the darkness of Konoha? Ninki. Destiny is never predetermined, you have to believe it. Man can conquer nature. Naruto smiled contemptuously. Do you know who I am? I am the son of the fourth Hokage. Naruto walked forward and looked down at Neji. A strong shock surged into Neji's heart. What? Unbelievable, mixed feelings and other feelings floated into Neji's heart. My mother is Uzumaki Kushina, my father is Namikaze Minato, and I am the current Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. I am also the demon fox that everyone in Konoha hates. Naruto said sarcastically. Sasuke and Rock Lee also didn't know why Naruto told this secret to Hyuga Neji. Was he trying to recruit Hyuga Neji? Ninki. The so-called fate is never unchangeable. If you want to change your destiny, come to me in 3 days. I will tell you what to do. Hyuga Ninki staggered away. He didn't know what his mood was. After Hyuga Ninki walked away, Sasuke walked to Naruto and said, is it really appropriate for you to tell him all these things? Naruto glanced at Sasuke and said with a smile, Sasuke, I know your concerns, but if we want to take revenge on Konoha in the future, we need the power of more people. During the past 6 months, Naruto also told Sasuke about the Uchiha. After learning that it was an order from the top of Konoha, Sasuke went crazy, but was stopped by Naruto. If you don't have strength, you can't do anything. This sentence made Sasuke wake up. After being enlightened by Naruto, he decided to learn the way of hiding. Thanks for watching.